Well, I have to make the video because I'm glad to be alive. I was almost attacked by a black widow this morning. This morning I was watching a video by one of my favorite YouTubers, Mark Wildman. He is a master of the kettlebell and clubs and kettlebell squats, goblet squats. And so he was doing these box squats, and I was looking at that, and it looked like it was about 12 inches off the ground. I have a 16-inch platform in my garage, so it's a little too high. I use that for steps. So I go in the backyard, I find this chair. It's a plastic chair. It's filthy. It's stacked on a bunch of other plastic chairs by the trampoline. That's a good lawsuit for you. Have kids come over, break their leg on your trampoline. And I got this filthy chair. And I was washing it in the kitchen. This giant black widow emerges, and I killed it. But I'm glad to be alive. I'm looking forward to doing my squats. So today I'm doing something a little improvisational, less rehearsed, as the neighbor's beautiful Belgian ducks and barks at a squirrel. So I'll do my best under these conditions to do more of an improvisational presentation. For me, the YouTube video essay is my version of the podcast. I don't have a podcast. I don't know. I don't see myself having a podcast. Everyone has a podcast. I want to talk about that not only in this video but in some subsequent videos. I'm obsessed with podcasts, and this video channel has been pretty much focused on my what I hope to be my authentic obsessions. I hope I'm not engaged in performative obsession, performative anxiety, which there's a lot of these days. I don't like it. I don't like performances. I like authenticity. So regarding my watch hobby, which I chronicle a lot here, I don't know why. I just can't wear bracelets these days. I have an aversion to them. They're like kryptonite in the presence of Superman, and as many of you know, I see myself as Superman. And I'm wearing a beautiful watch today. It's an SLA055, and on this dive core, it's very nice, low key. It's comfortable. It's beautiful. I'm enjoying it. There's certain watch habits that I've had over the years that I just accept them now. I don't fight them. I used to try to fight them on this YouTube channel. I'm gonna curb this addiction. There's a certain amount of behavior that I don't even try to fight. For example, when I come home from work or when I'm done with my nap, I take a nap every day because it feeds my brain just like omega fish oil does. I do a watch strap switch. I'll take a strap off and put a new strap on. I don't know. I can't help it. I wonder if it's just like my wife's always trying on shoes, and she's always showing me her different shoes or different dresses. Maybe it's the same impulse. Maybe I should just accept it. Am I always on the hunt for a new watch? I might be. Maybe I'm in denial about that. I just love looking for a new watch. You know, lately I've been looking at a cheap watch, a $330 watch that I've had like 3 or 4 times before. It's a 4th generation monster, and the bezel, it's not black. It's like a frosted color. What is it? The RHP75 maybe. It's got little penguin footprints on it. Very beautiful dial. Very nice watch for the price. And I'm kind of, if I get it, I see the thing is my rationale, because I am a watch addict, I have to get it, part of me saying, because I have this beautiful navy tropic strap and a beautiful orange navy tropic strap, and I could alternate those on that. I don't even know. I'm colorblind. I don't know what color the dial is on this 4th gen monster. It's different colors: purple, turquoise. See, I'm just describing it to you. I'm persuading myself to buy it. But then, of course, there's always a rebuttal in my head. The rebuttal, the counter argument. There's a voice that says, "Dude, you have 7 watches. You've achieved homeostasis. It's 7. You get 8. It will push you off the cliff." And then the argument goes back and forth. There's a guy I follow on Instagram. Oh my God, why do I do this? He has like every color of one of my favorite watches of all time that I used to have, the 3rd gen Seiko Monster. He's got the jade and the marine and the orange and the coral blue. Why? Why did I sell those? So yeah, that tells me. So I could get this. This 4th gen kind of has that 3rd gen vibe. It's the only one of the 4th gen that has a 3rd gen vibe on it, because the bezel's almost stainless, but it's just subtly frosted, and it's got more of the vibe of the 3rd gen than all the other 4th gens. The other 4th gens are like a black or dark blue stainless steel bezel. So that's in play. Other things about my watch obsession. I made this big to-do on my SPB 143. I think the bezel is coming off, the black at the top of the bezel from the oils in my fingers. So I don't know. And then some days I see it, sometimes I don't. It depends on the angle. What an obsessive scenario. So anyways, I'm not obsessing over it anymore. I'm kind of laughing at myself. And then my friend Carlos, he was going to buy it, then he wasn't going to buy it. Now he wishes he would have bought it. And now I think another buddy of mine on Instagram just bought it on Noman because it was drastically discounted to make room for the new one. And then there's chit chat about the new one having an aluminum bezel and having a better movement, and the aluminum bezel won't scratch as easily, so you better do that. Oh my God, we just love being in the beehive of watch talk, don't we? So anyways, when it comes to this, I'm not berating myself anymore. I'm just accepting my my addictive ways when it comes to watches. And some of the topics I want to explore in the future are going to be podcasts. I'm not going to give you my full presentation, but I just want to tell you what's been on my mind about podcasts. Watches have been a huge part of my bandwidth in my head since 2005. And so I talked about those a lot on this YouTube channel. The other thing that's been in my head, not since 2005, but man, it's been going on for the last 8 years, and it's just getting more. It's listening to podcasts. They've been disruptive in my life. I listen to podcasts all the time. I listen to them when I work out. I listen to them when I go to bed. I mean, I have podcasts going on all night. It's I guess it's my ASMR. There's certain podcasts that I like, Blocked and Reported, and Mike Pesca, and various Bulwark podcasts. Used to listen to a lot of Mark Maron. I still do, but not as much. I'll tell you why I can't listen to Mark Maron as much, because I take naps and I sleep with podcasts on, and he ends his podcast with a guitar solo that he's playing, and that guitar solo just jolts me out of my rest. So if he wasn't doing that, I would listen to Mark Maron more often. But Blocked and Reported and Mike Pesca, those are two that I really like a lot. And there's a guy, he's from England. He lives in Austin, Texas now. He has a podcast called Modern Wisdom. He's a young man. Man, he's smart. He's well-read. He's really dedicated to his craft. I always learn something from his podcast. I don't listen to Andrew Huberman anymore. I quit about a year or two ago. I don't have anything against him. I know he's controversial. For me, he was just prescribing too many supplements and too many optimization behaviors. It didn't interest me anymore. I didn't want to eat when the sun is at this position or get this circadian rhythm. There was a certain point where I just said, I just got to stick to basics. 160 to 200 grams of protein a day. Stay away from junk. Don't go to fast food restaurants. I told my family that I'm going to quit eating donuts and cookies. I'm done with that because there's enough other things. Sometimes my daughters will make French toast in the morning, and I'll have a slice of that with nothing on it. It's already fattening. And then a couple times a year I'll eat carrot cake, which is for me the greatest dessert of all time. So I eat enough high-calorie foods. So I told my family I'm done eating cookies and donuts. You bring them home, I'm not eating them. You make them, you bake them, I'm not eating them. I'm done. I'm done with brownies too. I like them, but I don't love them. I like apple pie, but I don't love it. I love carrot cake, so if that's in the house, it's going to be eaten. I love key lime pie. If that's in the house, it's going to be eaten. So I have to pick and choose my stuff. Speaking of diet, oh, my dog saw a squirrel. Not my dog, my neighbor's dog. So I can hear Chewy from Belgium, barking at a squirrel. So one of my Facebook friends, I went to high school with her. I have a very high opinion of her. She recommended, as I was talking about my weight management challenges. She told me about this book. It was so vegan. It was beyond vegan. It was like, not only was it vegan, what was the guy's name? I can't think of it. It was a book about reversing a heart disease. I can't think of the guy's name right now, but he has a son who does who's a fireman who's also got a vegan diet book, but it's not quite as strict as his dad's. And the son is a fireman. And I think if I had to do one of the diets, I would do the sons, because the father in this book that my high school friend told me to get, I mean, you're eating nothing but plants. You can't even eat nuts or any kind of olive oil. You can't even do any Mediterranean diet or anything. And I'm looking at it and I'm saying, this is awful. This is punishment. It's not worth it. I'm 62. I can't do it. And it kind of scared me reading it, because he was, telling me all the heart disease that I would get. And to his credit, he had some patients who, through his diet, they did avoid getting open heart surgery. So I'll tell you what, if a doctor told me you go on this diet or get open heart surgery, I'll go on the diet. But until then, I'm not doing it. There's no way I'll do it. The other thing is, you go on one of these diets, like let's just take a vegan diet, and you got a family who's not vegan. You become the misfit. You become the leper. I mean, you're eating in a corner all by yourself. You're looking around like, I'm eating my vegan diet, and your family's having, spaghetti and meatballs with garlic bread. It's unhappy. It's an unhappy scenario, man. I don't like it. It's almost lugubrious. It's almost beyond pathetic. I don't want to be in that scenario. I'm trying to just be moderate. I made it to 62. I'm not eating donuts or cookies. Please don't put me into that thing where I'm wearing a dunce cap and I'm eating my little plants over in the corner and my family's having lasagna and garlic bread and I'm just looking at them. I'm trying to live another 10 years. Woohoo! So I don't know, man. For my channel, as I look at my obsessions, I still want to check in with Watch Talk. I'm obsessed with podcasts because, in the 1980s, the average American had about 4 friends. And in 2024, our friends are much smaller in numbers. Like, I think the average American has like 1 close friend or something. I think podcasts are the new friendship. And I think they're taking over. Speaking of friends, my best friend came over. And we talked for a while. And she's got a new girlfriend. And after 40 years, he knew her since high school. And he wrestled with her brother. And she got married. And she was married for 45 years in a palatial mansion in Santa Barbara. Her husband, ex-husband now, because now my buddy's dating her. But anyways, her ex-husband is a doctor, and he came home after 45 years of marriage. And he said, I don't like you. I'm not attracted to you. Don't like talking to you. Don't like being with you. So she found herself a week later filing for a divorce. And now my buddy is driving up to Santa Barbara. So I won't see him on weekends as much. We used to hang out more. But I got to tell him next time I see him, dude, you should just retire and move to Santa Barbara with your high school sweetheart. You're on the beach. What do you want? What are you going to do? So I'm going to miss him. That means I'm going to have to listen to more podcasts now. I think he's going to be hanging out in Santa Barbara a lot more. But so in the subsequent YouTube videos, I want to talk about podcasts, why they're so important, the chit chat. Podcasts are so important. I can't even watch good TV anymore without listening to the companion podcast. It's like, oh, now I'm part of a larger community. Now I'm part of a larger conversation. I can't just watch Tokyo Vice or Louder Milk or, one of my favorite shows without listening to a companion podcast. So that's what I'm looking into. All right, I got to go to the post office. Got to mail a contract of engagement. My wife and I got an attorney based on a family recommendation because we did our living will and trust and all that stuff. Because, it's responsible. My daughters are all worried. Why are you doing this? Because I'm 62. I'm 62. You know, my favorite actor, Lance Reddick, my age, he just keeled over, man. He passed away. Heart attack. And it's a reality. I'm not doing this because there's some pending thing. It's just life. I was trying to tell them, they're all worried. So my wife and I, we were on the phone with the attorney last night for like 2 hours answering questions. And the attorney says, this living trust is essentially your family's been turned into a separate entity, a corporation. And now it's been legally defined. And now you won't have to go through probate and all this stuff. So that was deep for my daughters watching that going. I just told my daughters, this is reality. I'm doing this for you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to the post office. I'm going to work out, and luckily there will be no Black Widow in the chair that I'll be using for platform squats. And I hope to develop my ideas on podcasts more in subsequent videos. Tell me what you think, ladies and gentlemen. I am gone.